Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Committee of Adjustment. Our first order of business is to ask if there's any pecuniary interest. Anybody? No, none around the table. I'm not seeing none there. I just wanted to welcome everyone here. And we've got two applications this afternoon to look at. Our first one is the application for consent for B4, B5, B6, and B7 on Union Street, and I will go to Greg for the overview of this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The proposed applications are to sever 8 existing single detached dwellings. They were originally constructed on separate lots, and the lots have since merged together. So the application proposes 4 severances to return them to 8 separate parcels. They're all developed with existing single detached dwellings, and they're in the R4 zone, and the proposed lots would have minimum lot frontages of 12 meters and areas of greater than 487 square meters, and would thus comply with the current zoning that applies to the properties. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the audience would be either for or against this particular thing? Yes, ma'am? If you could come to the front and please turn your mic on.
Jennifer Matthews from Watson Land Surveyors. We're the agent on file for this application, and I'm here to answer any questions if anyone has any.
I've got one. Through you, Mr. Chair. I'm just looking for an explanation how this happened. I read the material. I didn't quite understand how it goes from being severed back to being one parcel again.
Yeah, I have a little bit of information on that. In January 2021, the Hastings Local Housing Corporation became the owner of all 8 of these parcels. They all were put into the same name. They did mention at that time, and they were made aware that they would have to separate them eventually because they all would merge into one. That was 2001. Now they're getting around to sort of housekeeping items and getting that cleaned up.
Thank you. I'd move, Mr. Chairman, to. Oh, I put a motion forward, Mr. Chair, to approve the consent applications as is.
Okay, the motion is put forward, calling for a vote. All in favor? Carried. Motion number 2, or application number 2, is for 3 lots out on Farnham Road, 366 Farnham Road, and it's GCL Development that is looking after this one. Is there anyone here to speak for or against this particular application?
My name is Andy Gertzma. I'm here as president of GCL Developments. Available to answer any questions.
Are there any questions or for? None? No? Sorry, I missed Greg here. We'll get Greg, Andy, and then we'll see if there are any questions.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this application is proposing to create 3 infill lots in an existing subdivision. Currently, there is a remnant block called Block 31 that is at the corner of Cottonwood and Primrose Crescent, and it was a remnant block that existed when the subdivision was created. The proposal here is to take the rear portion of the property at 366 Farnham Road and add it onto that block to make a larger block, and then to sever that block twice to create 3 development parcels. as a recommended condition of severance, those would be rezoned to match. So the added piece would be rezoned to match the existing zoning on that block, which is R1-21, I believe, which would permit single detached dwellings on minimum 15-meter frontage lots. The proposal is to create lots with slightly above 15 meters, I think, right around 15 meters of frontage, and meeting the required lot area of the R1-17 zone as well. Yep, back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Greg. Are there any questions for Andy? Seeing none, thank you. Any against? Come forward, sir. Please give us your name.
My name's Ken Rushnick. I'm here representing my daughter who lives next door to the property. She's working and can't make the meeting. We have just, I guess, some concerns raised in terms of the congestion in the area that's existing already. And by adding 3 lots, smaller lots, creating more congestion and adding to the existing congestion in the area. There's fire. I don't know. If you're familiar, we sent something in writing, and there's a number. There's the fire hydrants. There's mailboxes in the area, and the parking in that whole subdivision is an issue for most people in that area. That if like sometimes in the winter you can hardly back out on the street because there's cars all over the place. Like I realize that's a bylaw issue, but it is very congested in that area, and that creating 3 smaller lots would probably end up, and I'm not sure, and I'm sure you could answer that, like the parking. Most houses have a minimum of 2 cars. And you know, we're just adding to the congestion in the area, and we're recommending that 2 lots with full-size driveways and garages be put in to basically alleviate any of the congestion, or not alleviate, but help with any of the congestion in the area. And that the other issue was there's a lot of kids actually in that area that, now I'm not sure this is possibly a separate issue, but there's kids in that area. And in that entire subdivision, there was no property allotted for any type of play structures or any area for kids to play in. And as a new subdivision, all you're getting is young families in there with kids, and there's been nothing allotted for that I can see in the immediate area. So that's.
Any questions for Ken?
Through you, Mr. Chair, maybe we could get some explanation or clarification on the planned residences, if the parking, if Mr. Gertzma can maybe speak to any, like, is there a sense of, are you going to provide parking for these units? Is there a minimum? Is it 1 space? Is it 2 spaces? I'm not sure if we can call back Mr. Gertzma to answer that. Thank you.
Yes, Andy, if you could.
Sure, happy to speak to that. So the zoning on these lots that are proposed is R117, which is the same as the house to the immediate south. And it's also the same as other houses in the area. By city standards, a 50-foot lot's considered a large lot, relatively large anyway. Typically parking would be 2-car garage and two parking spaces in front of the garage. That would be expected. So I would say for these lots, relative to other developments, there's more than average parking that's going to be provided.
Through you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Gertzma, the lots are already serviced, are they not?
That's correct.
And could you, when was that done?
I think when we the time when Phase 4 was developed, so I would expect probably 5 years ago,
Okay, so it's been there for a
I'm
while.
guessing.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Scott?
So just to clarify, you anticipate that there will be 4 spots in each one of these lots, potentially 2 in a garage, 2 on a driveway?
Yeah, because of the larger lots, our typical build would be for a 2-car garage.
Thank you. I appreciate you clarifying that for me. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? No? 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 Any other concerns? I have a motion, please? Okay. Put a motion forward? Okay. Was there anyone else in the audience that wanted to speak? Okay, okay, the motion and second. All in favor? Passed. Thank you very much, everyone. That's the 2 applications that were put forward.